Hello everybody, and welcome back! Last time we began our climb of Air Rock and we managed to complete the exterior portion of Air Rock. Today we're going to begin the exploration of the inner section of Air Rock and hopefully find what secret lies within. So, right from the bat we have a synergy stone, and before we use it, let's go ahead and fully heal the whole party. There we go. And now we are all set. Also, you may notice that right next to the door there we have a small dot, a small gold or yellow dot. That signifies one of the particular routes that the inner section of Air Rock is divided in, which I'll go into more detail in a moment. But for now, let's just go through the small hallway here, or rather maze. Okay, and right there we have a giant stone head and one of the smaller stone heads, but as you can tell the smaller one is grayed out, meaning that it is inactive. So for now it will not do anything. And we have another pink giant whirlwind stone in the middle. Unfortunately we cannot get to it right now. What we can do something about is a new enemy. This is, well, actually a returning enemy. This is a creeper. It is level 12, it has 89 HP, 6 synergy, 79 attack, 19 defense, 29 agility and 2 luck. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 48, a Mars resistance of 72, Jupiter resistance of 7, a Mercury resistance of 100 and a Mercury elemental power of 95. He normally yields 32 experience points, which then become 41 if we finish him off with a Jupiter Gin. He drops 38 coins, which then become 49. And there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that he will drop a Weasel's Claw. Now, as for his commands, he has of course the basic attack and the Frost and Douse monster skill. Sorry, I mean synergy. So, and we get a preemptive strike, so this is pretty much an easy victory for us. There we go. So, we cannot do anything about that chest either. And as I was saying, for now we'll have to ignore that the giant stone head and the big pink tornado stone. Okay, so as I was saying regarding the small dots near the doors. As you can see to our left we have another door with 2 small blue dots. This will signify the, let's call it the blue path or route within Air Rock. However, if we go even more to the right, we have 2 red dots. That is the red route, and that is also the first route that you want to go, because if you choose the blue route you will not be able to proceed any further. So we'll go through here first. As was the case with the previous episode, we have a lot of ground to cover, so I'll try to deal with combat as swiftly as possible. Luckily we only have one more new enemy to mention, so hopefully that will make combat more of an easy thing to deal with. So, right here. This is possibly the toughest puzzle in the entirety of Air Rock, and the first time I played this game I'm a bit ashamed to admit that I spent more time than I should have with it, because at first it seems simple. All you have to do is arrange the logs and the pillars so that you can jump across. But, as you can see, there's also a wall of sand, meaning that you have to make sure that you leave the path open so that you can blow the sand away. So what we want to do is push this right here. Watch me now mess up after I say that I know how to do it. No, that's fine. Now that that is all the way down, we want to push this one here so that when we step on it, it will remain in place. And there you go. Yep, there we go. Pretty simple, though it did take me quite a while when I was younger. And just to show what happens once you step on those, if they're not covered, that's what happens. Let's use Whirlwind one more time. Alright, with that we are pretty much done with this particular room, so let's get through it as quickly as possible. And we have a bunch of enemies and we are caught by surprise. Right, so as opposed to the outside of Air Rock, we won't be using the Whirlwind synergy as much as you may think, so I'm going to be using Plasma during combat. That should also help push things along faster. There we go. So we just push this all the way, and then we have to go all the way around so that we can jump over the new path. There we go. Alright. Also, right here you can see on the ground that you have the usual tracks that are always present whenever there is an item or an object that you can move, but there's no object. Keep that in mind for later. It will become useful in order to get a very useful, let's call it an item for now. So we want to go up here, and similar to the Kandorian temple, we have some puzzles regarding steam. We have to go all the way around and push this so that the steam takes a different direction and allows us to proceed. And Felix level up. Nice. Is there something right here? Yeah. Alright. We have yet another grayed out stone head that we can do anything about right now. For now, let's just push this into the proper place and carry on. Let's see. Yeah, we can't do anything about that log right now, but we will be able to later. Alright, this is what we want to do. There, now the path is open. That last enemy is really sneaky. He hasn't shown up yet. Hopefully he will. Alright. Here we are at what seems like quite a large space within the innermost chamber of Air Rock. And as you can see, technically right now we are in a part of the blue route. And here we will be using the Whirlwind synergy a fair amount. There we go. So we just use the stones here to position the structure so that it will let us across. I'm just going to go ahead and clear up the obstacle right here. Not that we will be going back this way, but just to be safe. And there we have the enemy that I was referring to. This is a mummy. It is level 14. It has 113 HP, no synergy, 116 attack, 30 defense, 44 agility, and 8 luck. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 25, Mars 7, Jupiter 48, and Mercury 72. And it has a Venus elemental power of 100. It normally uses 72 experience points, which then become 93 if we finish him off with a Mars gene. He drops 102 coins, which then become 132, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that he will drop an elixir. Now, as for his commands, he has the basic attack and the Vanish Claw monster skill, which is a Venus based attack with an additional 21 points of damage, and it may inflict the Delusion status. And he has a Harpy as support. But other than that, he's no particular threat. And Jenna level up, and so did Sheva, and she learned a new synergy, Sleep. So as you may have guessed, that may cause the target to fall asleep. That can come in handy quite a lot against any fight against Jin, in order to prevent them from running away, so that's a very useful synergy. Alright. Now we move the structure yet again, so that we can go across vertically. There we go. Alright. So, no wait. I want to go to this way first, because that way we can get to that chest. We are getting pretty lucky with the unleashes. Alright, let's see. What's in here? An elixir, so it's okay. Anyways, let's continue. So, even though this looks exactly the same as the other room with the same structure, it is not. It can be a bit confusing because some of the rooms in the Airrock interior are quite similar. Anyways, let's use Whirlwind again. And once more. Alright, we are getting there. Alright, we are yet again at that large chamber in the very center of Airrock. And right there we can see a strange symbol. That is actually a gate that opens up into the innermost chamber of Airrock. That is where we want to go. But we can't get there just yet. Speaking of innermost chambers, here we have probably the most pristine looking synergy crystal in the whole series. This looks straight out of the Final Fantasy series. But anyways, let's heal everyone up. Not that we need to, since we're fairly okay when it comes to HP and synergy, but let's do it nonetheless. Alright. we are now near the bottom of the large chamber of the air rock, and we have the giant pink tornado stone. Let's go ahead and activate it. Alright, so that activated the stone head there that will take us up, but before I do that, I actually want to take the path to the right here. And as you can see, some of the stone heads have also been activated. But right here we have a shortcut to the outside, just in case. So now let's go ahead and step on the stone head. And here we are, back at the beginning. Let's use Whirlwind one more time. And now all these stone heads have been activated, so that now we can fully explore the remainder of Air Rock. But before that, I want to get to that chest. So we just want to wait. There we go. That actually may have been unnecessary, but whatever. It contains a pile. Pretty nice. Alright. Alright. So here we are again, right next to the door to the blue route. And as I mentioned before, it is best to first take the red route. So now we can take the blue route, but there's something else for us in the red route. So I'm going to take a quick detour and head back through the red door. Trust me, it's worth your time. Alright. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we want to push the log right here, no further than that. That is the perfect position. And we want to jump across here and then climb back. Because the stone head is now active, so it will push us right next to the windstone, which in turn will push the log all the way there. So now we can finally do something about those tracks that were there. And what is our reward? Another tablet summon. Felix can now summon Flora. To summon Flora, 2 Jupiter and 1 Venus Gene are needed. Right, so we got the Flora summon. Let's quickly go over that, shall we? Flora, Wind Rider, Goddess of Flowers. She requires 2 Jupiter and 1 Venus gene. She has a base power of 80 Jupiter. She has a side effect that may put targets to sleep. She has an HP multiplier of 9%, and after she is successfully summoned, she may provide an elemental boost of 10 Earth and 30 Wind. Alright, now that we are done with that, let's head back and take the blue route. Also, I should probably mention that by the time you activate both the giant stone head in the lower section of the air rock interior and the upper one, you pretty much completed about 60% of air rock interior. So we're near the end. Come on. Barely missed it. There we go. Okay. Right here. So, we can move the stone head along the track here. And I want to position it precisely 2 spots from below the top. I believe right there. And you'll see why in a moment. There we go. Now we can get to what's in this chest. And it contains the Clarity Circlet. Unlucky for us, the game automatically gave it to Sheba, which is what I was going to do. So, of course, the Clarity Circlet is an artifact piece of gear, so let's quickly go over it, shall we? It provides a defense boost of 21, but even more important than that, it boosts Jupiter power by 15 points, so of course a great piece of equipment for Sheba. Alright, now that we got that, we can proceed. So, now we want to push the stone head down a few spots. I believe that should be enough, hopefully. Yeah, that is fine. And just to be safe, let's clear up the obstacle here. Alright. A few of the classic jumping puzzles that the series is pretty much known for at this point. The way is now clear, so let's go back. All right. And yet again, we have the very same structure in the middle. So this is probably the third room that has that. Although that may have just been the very same room, but from a different perspective, so I may be mistaken. So let's go ahead and clear the wall of sand. And even though it doesn't look like you can actually push the stone head right there. Alright, so now that the stone head is further down, we can use it to reach that chest. And it contains 666 coins. How ominous. Anyways, that's a good amount of cash. Let's just go through here. Alright, we're near the end now. We have two long hallways. Make sure you take the left one, that way you can move the stone head here out of the way, otherwise you will not be able to proceed through the one on the right. Alright. And I believe we are pretty much there. Yep, here we are. We can finally make our way into the innermost chamber of Rock. And here we have what looks like a stone tablet. Not quite like the summon tablets. Let's see what happens. Felix, check the tablet. It has strange characters written on it. Wielder of Wind's might, lay your hands upon this stone. We bestow upon thee the power to see the truth unclouded. Do you think I ought to touch it? Sheba touched the tablet. Sheba learn reveal. Alright, we finally got the reveal synergy, which is an immensely useful synergy, not just for simply completing puzzles, but also for finding any hidden items, including the ones that may be found around towns. So pretty much any time that you feel like you're in a situation where things look fishy or out of place, it's always a good idea to just use the reveal synergy. And luckily, it's very cheap, costing only 1 synergy point. Anyways, here we have a Psy Crystal, a nice little reward for completing Rock. Alright, so we finally completed everything that there is to do in Rock. We got the reveal synergy and we got the Flora summon, as well as a few pieces of equipment. So I think that should be more than enough for now. I do want to end the episode right at the exit of the Rock, so I'm going to use retreat here a few times before we end. And I believe that if I use it once more, it should take me right to the entrance at the very bottom of Rock. Alright, there we are. So, as I mentioned before, we got the reveal synergy and we got a few other nice pieces of equipment, as well as a new summon. Next episode I'm going to start it right in the town of Garo, and we're going to see if we can discover, or rather uncover, the secrets of the mysterious town. See you guys!